Yes, people, what's going on? What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. As always, make sure that you lot are smashing up the lights. Make sure that you are subscribing to the channel. We got ranks for the raid. We already got 244 people in here. Obviously, just myself and Jem. The man them a bit late. I didn't want to keep you lot waiting like what we did last week. So me and Jem will just start off as we usually do, and everyone else will start to come in. I think Lewis should be coming on today as well, bruv. He said
Is it?
yeah, he should be back home from shopping soon. So I think he'll jump on, man. But what are you saying, Jem, bro? You good?
Yeah, I'm all right, bro. Same old, different day, just getting on with life as you do out here. And yeah, the weather's nice and yeah, just cracking on, really.
Wait, where you right now? You still in Dubai right now?
I'm still in Dubai, still in the same place I was last time. And yeah, it's all good. All good in the hood.
When you coming back?
I won't be coming back till next year.
Fucking hell, man. Fucking
Yeah.
hell. That's a long wait, innit? That's a long wait, bro. But listen, we ain't got a long wait until tomorrow because Chelsea
Yeah.
are in the semi-final of the Club World Cup. You know, after another convincing performance, especially in that first half, bro. I thought the football we were playing, Gem, from back to front was brilliant, bro. You know what I mean? The way I was seeing our centre-backs enticing the attackers from Palmeiras to attack them, as soon as they did, we're just popping it off to Santos. He's given the ball to Enzo. He's given the ball to Palmer. Yeah, before you know it, we're now attacking. We had so many, like we had some half chances in the first like 15, 20 minutes, and I was thinking like, yo, any second we're gonna score. You know what I mean? And that's how I've been feeling in a lot of these games. You know, second half, they pressed us up a little bit higher, but Maresca, he worked that out, and the in-game management actually allowed us to bring a little bit more control to the game. You know, bringing on Pedro, Dewsbury, I thought he was very good off the ball as well. The way he was helping us press them a lot higher as well. He brought on Madueke, who brought a different dynamic to the left-hand side. And ultimately, we've got the job done. You know, right now, bro, I keep saying we're a physical team now. We're not easy to play against. You know what I'm saying? You're looking at the profile players that we've got now. They like to get in. Santos, bro, the way he played, you would have thought this guy's been at Chelsea for years. You know? What's his name? Pedro as well. He's another physical player. Big up Jimmy.
Yeah.
That came on. Very, very physical, bro. You know what I'm saying? You've got Sugo, you've got Caicedo, you've got Lavia, even Enzo. I'm putting him in there as well. The other day, you saw how physical he was being. So we are building a real structured team, bruv. What's your take on the game the other day, man?
Yeah, a couple of things really to obviously highlight. I was very impressed. I'll start with the midfield. I was very impressed with Santos and Enzo. I think there was a little worry with the physicality element of them two both being in there. But you know what? Fair play to Santos. I thought he played. It was a little bit different to how we usually have Caicedo there in terms of getting around the pitch and energy. It was more about the timings of when to go, when to stay, when to get out wide, when to cover the space. And I've got to say, he looked very good, guys. He looked very, he wasn't afraid to go into a tackle. There's a number of times where he just went in. Do you know what I mean? Went in on the slide, comfortable on the ball. So he received the ball on the transition from the defence, turn, play the ball quickly to Enzo. Enzo one touch to Palmer. And like you said, the first half, the movement of the players and how they were linking up and getting up the pitch. Palmer's couldn't contain us in the first half. We were just moving the ball so well. Very impressed with Enzo and Palmer and Santos. The only one I would say I was a little bit more, I would say he's a problem, but the one that I would say was a bit of a mare to was probably Delap. But he just again looked a little bit, he got his body, he used his body well in moments. The goal that Palmer actually scored, if you looked, he went and he went to the left, which opened up the space for Palmer to run into and then scored a goal. But there was too many times, bro, where and this is my sort of real worry with our attackers, especially our strikers, is that the composure element. He was getting into too many situations where he needed to be a little bit more clever. He was like, it's okay to be physical. It's okay to use your, it's a part of your game. You want to use your body. You want to cause problems. But, when you're doing stupid things, and it's obvious, and you're getting yellow cards, and then you're arguing, and then you're continuously, in that momentum of just, really just becoming a bit of a thug on the pitch in a way where you're just not actually, we're not playing to your strengths. Then it becomes a problem because we've seen it with Nicholas Jackson. We've seen what he's about when it comes to losing his cool slightly. But I just thought the way that João Pedro came on the pitch and really showed what was the word with him? Composure. Because the first 2 minutes, he put in a great tackle and the guy's in his face like that, trying to headbutt him and stuff. And you could
Yeah.
see that what Palmeiras were doing was trying to entice our players, they're trying to get us to do something stupid so that we went down to 10 men. But then after that, the way he played that period, the way he used his body, the way he controlled the ball, the way he was linking the play, him and Enzo were just like, it looked like they'd played together for ages. The way they were just
Yeah.
like each other, you know.
Why is that? Why is that though, Jim? It's the IQ, bro. It's the IQ. Footballers just know how to football. That's as simple as that. You know what I mean?
And it's also, which didn't shock me, but I was quite very impressed by, was the technical balance, the technical, like the control. Every time he received the ball, it was so calm and controlled, and he always knew what to do at the right time, which I loved. He was making the right decisions on the pitch, and he just looked really good as a number 9. And I was quite shocked that Maresca just put him straight up there straight away. But for someone that had been into Brazil for 2 weeks and then just come straight to Chelsea and was put straight into that game, I thought he'd done very well, bro. And then obviously, let's talk about Esteval really quickly. I mean, I thought people were talking about my man not being able to be physical. Well, he was up against Cucurella, who pockets some of the best wingers in the world, and this was a big challenge for him to see where he is currently as a player at the moment. But I thought he had a really good game, Esteval. I thought he carried the ball well. We had to kick him sometimes. I remember Enzo Fernandez just booting him in the shin when he was on the floor. Do you know what I mean? But that goal, bro. And this is the thing with players like him. We would just touch tight to him most of the game. But in that one moment where Colwell wasn't touch tight and he was just hovering around in that space and he received that ball on the turn and that finish, this is why you don't give players like him that space, man, because that was quality.
Quality. Because I'm seeing some people trying to. Well, I had a little debate with my boys earlier, and they were trying to say, trying to get onto Sanchez and that, and I'm like, listen, Sanchez's positioning, he obviously didn't cover the near post, but let's be real, he probably thought Esteval was going to cross it there. Yeah, Esteval's IQ is what I'm looking at more, because he noticed that Sanchez wasn't covering the near post, and he smacked it on his right foot after taking 2 touches, bro, and the touches were so quick. I don't know if you've seen the angle behind the goal, Jem. Yeah. Cole thought he had him. It was a great goal, bro.
It's a great goal. I'm not hearing people say Sanchez was at fault there. Don't get me wrong. I can see why people were saying about his positioning, but let me just tell you something. That shot was I don't think any goalie saves that. It was unstoppable. Not only did it hit the bar, it hit the post, and
none
then went
in the world. None.
It was just a great.
In order for him to save that shot, he literally would have had to standing up against the post.
Touch tight
with
like
his
that.
hands already up. What goalkeeper does that? There's no goalkeeper in the world that would have been able to move their hands quick enough to save the shot, even if he was in position. What are we talking about?
It was a brilliant goal, man. And again, that's why I've been singing this guy's praises. I remember when I first saw the compilation of this guy. Yeah, we got ads as well. Yeah, obviously, of compilations. I've got my local thing that I watch and whatnot to watch games and that, right? And I watched a lot of his games. But when I was watching those compilations at the beginning and I was seeing Chelsea are linked, I was like, bro, I know we don't want too many young players in that, but broski, we have to sign this guy. Yeah? The way that I was seeing this guy just making grown physical adults, look like kids was mad. You know what I mean? And the amount of goals I was seeing him scoring, Gem, the amount of chances I was seeing him creating. Again, only Esteval has beaten Neymar's record in terms of most goals and assists before they turn 18 in Brazil. It's only Esteval that's beaten that record, bro. This is a quality player, and he honestly needs to get the minutes next season, to show what he can do. I don't want to be seeing this guy getting 5 minutes and that. Broski, he's coming from a physical league. Look at the battle between him and Cucurella. Yeah? They had a serious battle, and Cucurella, for me, is the best left back in the league, bro. You know what I mean? They had a serious battle, bro. So Esteval, I'm happy with this guy. I'm happy with this guy, man. Honestly.
Oh yeah, facts. He's fucking. He performed really well, bro. And you know what? I knew he was going to kind of anyway, because the fact that it was going to be potentially one of his last games against Chelsea as well. You expected him to perform to a level he did, but he read the challenges as well. He was strong. People will talk about his forgetting what he was with the ball, because that you could see he's very good at. It was about being able to hold off people with the ball, and the strength. He wasn't just getting put to the floor every time he was touched. He was riding the challenges. He was giving it back as much as he could. And do you know what? He's pretty quick, He ain't slow, is he? Like, he's got some speed in him, bro. Like
100%. He's not slow, bro. You know what I'm saying? But wait, let me even read this chat here from Twitch. Yeah, don't overrate our future players because there's no development in our club. What do you mean by that, bro? Expand on that. You know what I mean? Expand on that.
Oh,
Someone
because
send Joey, someone send Joey the link.
Why would you even do? You don't ever read that dude's comments normally. Don't waste your time.
right,
Yeah,
because you're not allowed to talk about players that are coming to your club that are young and then on their way up.
Keep
Hopefully,
going. Trust me. Next
all I,
subject.
all I ever
play
see
them
is you shitting on everything that we do, bro.
Yeah,
I don't get it.
That's what I said. Don't waste your time. Like, don't even waste your time.
The thing
So
for
by
me,
talking
too,
about a
I
young
like,
player means we're overrating them. Do you know what I mean? I don't get this
yeah.
logic.
How are we overrating him? We're talking about his performance the other day because it was fucking quality, bro, and he's been
Yo,
quality.
Don, you're not listening. Don't waste your time. Dudes like that. Don't waste your time. Well, I
You
don't
need
know
to
why
you
y'all
need to
waste
you
your
need to
time.
call them out. You need to call them out, Jim. Yeah. But Jim, obviously, you was at the game. You was at the game, innit?
Yeah.
Yeah. What did you think of the game, bro?
Nah, the game was good, man. Like, it's funny that how so many people could watch one game, right? It's one game, but everybody sees so many different things. I'm always baffled by that. I think it's more a lot of confirmation bias amongst fans. Like we kind of see what we want to see. You know what I mean? Like, cause the game, like most everybody was good except Gusto. Gusto had another bad game. Then I hear some people like, "Oh, he was okay," and I'm like, "What?"
You thought Gusto was bad?
He
I don't
killed
think
the
it was bad.
attack. Like,
I don't
bruh,
think it was.
I thought he
Gusto
was decent.
killed the attack like 10 fucking times.
Yeah, a number of times. I agree with that.
Well, that to me, so I guess maybe I was hung up on that and
Yeah.
ignored other. You see what I mean by confirmation
Yeah,
bias?
yeah,
Maybe I was
yeah.
so hung up on what was pissing me off about the attack that I ignored other stuff. Because I seen people like, Madueke came on and he showed that he was. I was like, showed what? Showed that why we should send him to Arsenal. And my brother was like, nah, he was getting in the areas. And I'm like, yeah, that's the problem. He gets in the area and then he's not a threat anymore. Every time he go to cock his foot back to shoot, it swings too slow. I really started analyzing that with Nani Madueke. The way he shoots, his foot, it's like,
It's so indecisive, innit? It's so indecisive.
it's in the, and I'm like, that's why every cross and every block and every cross and every shot gets blocked. He beats his man. He beats his man every time. And then he like his fucking foot, the back of his heel has to hit the back of his head before his foot goes forward to kick the ball. And by then, the defender gets that little and it's a fucking corner instead of a shot on goal. And I'm not one of them people that be like, yeah, we got a corner. It's like, no, get the fucking shot on target. The shot on target is 10 times more dangerous than the fucking corner. Get that shot off, get a deflection, get the ball in the box. But the game outside of that, everybody else was pretty much good. Santos was fucking amazing. Like, it's crazy because I got bored a second ago. And I said, yo, I know for sure I was on this Santos train before most people. So I said, let me go and look on Twitter and see when that I actually start this Santos rant. I started hyping up Santos before we got Caicedo and Lavia. I have a song on my Twitter saying we don't need Caicedo. Think about that. You know why I got that from? I had watched the under-19 World Cup. I watched every game. Me and Steve was up watching them shits this late night, just watching the game.
Yeah, he was captain. He was captain, and he scored a lot of goals. Yeah.
He played PDM, and he had like 6 goals.
Yeah, I remember that.
He played central defensive mid. He was a sitting 6, but he scored fucking like 6 goals. He scored headers, long shots. And I remember coming back on Twitter saying, I said, this dude, don't send him on a loan. We sent him twice. I'm just looking back. I had a post where I said, Santos is everything I heard y'all try to tell me Gilmore was. Like, I'm just reading my post. Like, damn, I can't believe I was talking like this. And he hadn't played no games for Chelsea. He hadn't played a game for Chelsea yet. This was me hyping him up off of what I seen from the under-19s. So for me to come from that, and this was, hold up.
That would have been 2023.
2023, June of 2023. June of 2023. I'm sitting here just like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. And for me to see him first get like that, it's like, yeah, this
Bro,
dude is
Jimmy,
exactly. And it's 2
I'm
years
like you.
later. Like,
Yeah.
so for him, he was, I think, 18 or I think he might have been 17 or 18 at the time. And look exactly how he looked then and look now. That's crazy. Only thing is now he's slimmer. Before, I don't know if y'all remember, he had like
He's a little
baby
bit bulky. Yeah. He's slimmed down a bit.
He had a little chunky on his face. Now he's more slimmer and he's more. It's like
He looks like Gabriel, innit? He looks like Gabriel, blood.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
They both look like Hellboy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He looks like Hellboy, blood.
Look like Hellboy.
Oh, I'm showing you. Listen, these men will vouch because obviously I met Jem from like GNA TV and that, yeah, and I've been on Santos for a time, bro. Remember, me and Couch were going back and forth about him and Leslie, and I was saying, bro, Santos is more ready than Leslie, right? That season when he came back, with Poch's season, right? In pre-season, this guy was balling out.
I got posts from there, and I'm sitting here saying, I'd rather you sell Galadog than loan out Santos. I'm about to post where I said that.
And Jim, what pissed me off here?
I'd rather you sell Connor than loan fucking Andre Santos. And that was the year where everybody was Galadog crazy. I said, yo, don't send this dude away.
Bro, I remember there was a game in preseason where he came off the pitch and straight away our midfield was just getting run through. And I was like, nah. This guy on the ball, right? The IQ, bro. The way he reads space and he reads danger.
And he makes up his mind before he even gets the ball. Because the minute he gets the ball, bam. You know how some guys got to take that one, even if it's a little half a touch. As soon as he get the ball, turn, bam.
Yep.
Bam. His mind is made and he goes. He plays
That's what I love
about him.
Exactly, bro. That's what I like, bro. He plays what he sees. Even the other day, there was no dilly-dallying, bro. Like, he's getting the ball. He can see someone's in space. He lets the person come to him, the defender or the attacker. And then before you know it, we're on the half turn. We're attacking, bro. You know what I mean? And that's what I kept saying, Ads. Santos is not going nowhere, right? When people kept saying, Santos is going to get sold.
We're going to sell him.
We're going to sell him and that. Let me read this comment right now. This is why Santos is so important. Big up JJ for this. This is why Santos is so important. With Lavia's injury issues, he slots in and fills the role for me. And that's exactly what I've been saying even from last season, right? At least next year, we're going to have cover for Lavia because we cannot depend on this guy in the 11. And you're seeing why already he's injured again, bro. You know what I mean? Yeah. How good was he for the other day, man?
Yeah, no, he was class. Listen, I actually had to watch the game back because I had a crazy weekend. And obviously the game was a bit later on, so I watched back extended highlights. So obviously my takes on the game's not going to be as in-depth as other people. But yeah, from what I saw, Santos was quality. Again, the tackles he was putting in, again, that's why I love receipts, because don't you remember in his preseason when he first came to the club and I was talking about, this guy's cold, he should stay with the team. You remember how we had the back and forth with Couch and that, obviously big up Couch. But again, remember how he went on that loan to Forest and I was vexed the whole time. Like, why did you send this brother to Forest when they were signing like Sangare and all these other guys that they were signing? That they were obviously going to prioritize over him. And I remember people like, Santos isn't that good, he can't get a game for Forest, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, what are you lot talking about? That they just want to watch the player. So
it was that dinosaur in charge. It was that fucking dinosaur in charge, man.
I still got my receipts with me and Couch going back and forth because we did it in the Twitter inbox. It was an inbox in Twitter. He had posted something and I went in his inbox like, wait, what did you say? He was like, nah, Jimmy, I respect the loan. I'm like, no, I don't respect this loan. And Couch was like, Jimmy, I'm cool with the loan. He's not ready. No, that's what it was. I said, Couch, I'll live with the loan, but you saying he's not ready, I'm not buying that. Couch was like,
he was saying that Leslie's more ready than him. And again,
that's me and him.
Hey, Leslie's a good player, though, you know.
I was like, yo, Couch, you crazy.
He's not better than Santos, though. He's not better than Santos, man.
Don't undermine Leslie, because Leslie's actually quite a good player.
No, but it was undermining.
I don't get Leslie from Chelsea when we sell him. He's going to have a good player. But I'm just saying that.
He's a good player. I rate Leslie. I'm just saying that Santos looked better for me, bro. He looked better. But go on.
Yeah, no, I was just saying that obviously Leslie's my countryman, so I have stocks in the guy too, but I just know that Santos was clear, and I said it from the beginning, and it's been even more clear now. And listen, the season he had at Strasbourg, I wasn't even expecting him to be that good because he was cold. So, yeah, again, I wasn't surprised by that performance. I also want to big up Paul Palmer because that was a proper performance from him. Great goal as well. Levi Coble, once again, I'm going to have to keep bigging this brother up because from what I saw, he was cold again. Man's doing his job. I'm not seeing no more Levi.
You know what I like about him? That boy got ball. He plays with fire. Like before, it looked like petulance when I first And like I said, because of the bias, because of how he was playing, when I saw that fire, I used to be like, dude, what the fuck? You like a whiner, but it's not whiny. I see that he plays with that. He plays with a fervor, like with an energy, like watching him live. What was it 3-4 games I saw him now? It's different when I see it in person. Like I guess when I see it on TV, they only zoom when he's complaining, so it looked like dude, stop. Even when he's not complaining, like when he make a tackle or a play, Levi gets up and be like, he's always gassed and he's always like on it and on it. That's why if he had this fucking direct,
you know he has one stat.
He had a vet next to him, bro. Levi would be that. He'll be able to be what he is. He can't be that fully because he don't have that solid veteran who he knows no matter what gonna be there. When he gets that, I think he goes to that next.
You know, there's one stat before we go back to Eds. There's one stat on Colwell which I used to criticize him a lot on because I thought it was a weakness to his game. But he hasn't lost one aerial duel the whole competition.
Yeah,
not
the whole competition.
Not one.
The whole competition.
On it. You know what I'm starting with? What he's doing also now, his positioning when he's playing aerial duel. Before, he never used to like to get pressed up and all that. He's way more aggressive now. And he might have been that way before, but like I said, you know, when you're watching the game on TV, they don't put the camera on the player until the ball gets near him. And but watching it when you live, you get to actually see it.
Crazy.
And I'm like, yo, this guy is fucking tough, man. He's tough. If he had, like, I hate these what ifs, but if he had Silva from when he first got here, bruh, I wouldn't even want to change the goalkeeper. I swear to God. If we had Thiago Silva from when he first got here with this Caldwell, I'll be like, yo, give me any fucking keeper. Give me any keeper.
And the thing is, Jim, when I'm watching Caldwell these days, right? He just looks so much. He looks mature, bro. He just looks like he's getting mature. He's looking more experienced. He's looking more assured in his game. He's looking like he's understanding what Maresca wants. Because for me, the biggest concern I had, was like, can Caldwell actually become more aggressive? Because that's one thing that was missing from his game. Yeah, can he be more front facing, right? And that's something that I was seeing him doing after the bad form. I was seeing, man. Remember when we played against United, bro? This guy was onto Diallo, bruv. He was onto man, chasing him the whole pitch and that. I'm like, yo, this is what Fofana does for us. Now you're adding that to your game, bro. It's mad. You know what I mean?
If he had that stand-up vet next to him, I think he would really be able to. He'll be able to be that defender because I personally think he can be the hunter. He can be that defender that goes and run downs his man. While you know how Konate does, and VVD will sit back more times like that. I think Caldwell could be that guy, yo.
Well, I'm telling you, bro. If you pulled on this as well, but go look at these guys. They're framing that, bro. They're getting big. They're getting
he's getting into his body. He's framing out. Yeah, that's another thing with Levi. He's framing out. You can see it. Like you forget that. Like it's been like 2-3 seasons, and these boys are turning into men now. Like in front of your eyes, these boys are turning into him, Santos. Like you can see their physical frame change. Even Latvia, his physical frame is changing. I think that might be playing a part with his injuries too, because Latvia is such a big dude, yo. He's still physically growing. Like when you see him in person, you see his legs, his arms. It's like, damn, this dude, he's like fucking corn fed. Like he's like a big dude, yo. Like the muscle fiber. That's with him, man. That's probably what it is. That's why he keep having muscle injuries, man. He got to get more pliable. He got to get more pliable.
He's still growing, man. People need to realize these guys are young, bro. They're still growing. You know what I mean? They're still growing. And I'm telling you, bro, Chelsea, one of my boys used to play for Chelsea, bro, this guy had his growth spurt before any of us. Because the shit that they were feeding him in that academy, bro, all the yoga I used to see man just drinking and that, I'm like, Charlie, you're looking like this now, you know what I mean? But I'm telling you, bro, go on.
Jump back in because you man totally stole my thunder there, man. Jen even took the stat I was gonna bring up. Jimmy's talking about that aggression is mad because I was even gonna bring up that. Don't even remember last time when Cole was trying to punch up one guy in a preseason game. And people were like, "Oh, why is he getting angry in a preseason?" I'm like, "No, but I like the aggression though."
Ads, I swear. I used to be on Lewis stream telling to people, I used to be like, yo, I know it seems petulant, but you don't want to completely take that out of his game. That bulldog mentality. You need it. Just when he gets a vet next to him, he'll be great. He'll be fucking great. He'll be
100%.
great. Yeah. That kid is on his way, man.
100%.
That
But
kid is
again, I
really
just
good.
wanted to pick up all the players that obviously on our team that perform well. Again, obviously Colwell, Santos, Palmer. Got to bring up Enzo again. Enzo's doing his thing. Love to see it. And of course, our other player we got to big up, Esteval. That's cold. Yo, that move was tough. And then top corner, the celebrate, yeah, that was cold. I rate that. So again, I'm happy, man, because I said that all along going into this. I wanted to take it seriously. I want us to get far. I want us to knock out at least one big team, which you could argue we haven't done. But listen, my thing was just if we can get to a final, that's cold. And we're one step away from that. And listen, if you want to say that, oh, Fluminense's not a big team, we've had an easy one, I don't care. Because look who they beat to get here. They knocked out Inter Milan. They knocked out the team that knocked out Man City. So I'm not trying to hit anybody.
Thank you.
If we knock them out, which I believe we're going to do. And if we do that, I can say that, you know what, I'm happy with this run. Of course, I want to get to the final and do a little something there, but let's just get there first. Let's do it with Fluminense. Let's do it with Thiago Silva. You might remember that meme when Shawn Michaels says, I'm sorry, Ric Flair, and then puts him into retirement.
Yeah.
Same shit to Thiago Silva and then carry him out. That's what we got to do. But
Yeah.
listen, man, we got to handle business because this is a big, big moment. If we can go and win this competition.
Yo, bro, trust me. I like how everybody trying to downplay, but the reason why people are downplaying it, because they know if we win this fucking competition, I am going to be unbearable.
That's why I want to wear it. Wear it so much, man.
Kickoff week. Unbearable.
Yeah.
Guys, I'm just seeing the kit with that badge, bro. 4 years.
That's too nice, bro. And on top of that, yeah, like, bro, we'll get what? We just had a trophy the other day and they're feeding us again. And on top of that, bro, this trophy is a beautiful trophy, bruv. This is Tiffany and Cole, people. If you don't know about Tiffany and Cole, go do your research, blood. Yeah? This is rich man business, I'm telling you.
But you know what else, too? It would show you, right? It would, to me, not even just get into the final, to me, shows me the progression that Maresca made. Because they can say, oh, you won the conference, blah, 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 blah. Let me tell you something. This is not a fucking easy tournament to get through.
Nope.
Once you start getting to the knockout stages, every fucking team that was in the knockout stages was decent teams. All of them. Every fucking one. These teams.
And we're going to have to play Real Madrid or PSG in the final anyway to win it. So it's
and Don, my last thing, Don, you said something that I've been preaching. Like, don't tell me I had an easy path when the team that I'm facing beat one of the giants.
You mean
that ain't no easy path? I gotta beat a team that just beat City. How is that easy? They showed me their class. They beat City. What are we talking about? Or they beat? Come on, like why we? It's like getting to the semis of the World Cup. They like you had an easy path. How you get an easy path through all the teams in the world? I got through the semis. I faced all the teams in the world. It was up for this tournament. I get to the semis and I had an easy path. Get the
if it was like lucky wins or whatnot, maybe you can make an But what's lucky about them drawing with Madrid in the first game, giving them a proper game? They were a better team for most of that game. Then they go and beat City. Not like a 1-0, they shithouse, they one shot on target, one goal. No, they won 4-3 in extra time.
4-3. Every time City got back, they answered them back. That ain't no baby team.
Fluminense were better than Inter Milan. Just point blank, they were better. So, and Botafogo, a team that Palmeiras beat, Botafogo got a win over PSG. So this is a proper tournament. No matter how you want to look at it, it's a proper
easy
tournament.
games. No easy games.
Final, it's a big achievement, and we need to go and do that. We need to go.
Easy games.
We got nearly 500 people in the house. Big up AJ for joining us.
Shit, I didn't even see AJ come in the bill. Yo, AJ, what's up, bro? What's up?
How can you not spot that top, man? You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Jamaica. You know what I'm saying? Jamaica.
AJ's in the building. I thought I might not drink it because AJ's in the building. You know what? I might have to. You might see that? Here?
Jamaica ginger beer.
What's that, soldier? What's that, soldier? What's that?
A ginger beer. Ginger beer.
And
I'm pretty sure it's the real shit. No high fructose corn syrup in there. Yeah, that's the real shit.
Man. Hey, listen, people. We've got 449 people here. Listen, we just touched 100 likes. What's going on, man? When you come into someone's house,
that's what kind of conversion rate? That's like Jackson last year. Come on,
you know what I mean? That's Jackson kind of stuff, people, man. Smash the likes up, people. You know what I'm saying? But AJ, yeah, listen. How you feeling about Maresca right now, bro? Because I'm still seeing some people still hating on him and that and whatnot, and you know they come out when we lose. That's when they come out saying yes, this ain't the guy and whatnot. But you know what? I like what Maresca posted on his Instagram, bro. Let me even see if I can show you, man, what he posted on his Instagram. Yeah, I don't know if he manages it. He probably doesn't, in all honesty. But When I saw that, I was like, Gaffer, I'm gonna call him Gaffer now. Gaffer, talk your shit, bro. Yeah, because they're preying on your downfall, Gaff.
Yep.
You know what I mean? They are preying on your downfall, and this is what you're doing to us. Yeah, this is what Maresca posted. He said 32, 16 wins, 8 draws, 4 losses in 32 games. The journey continues all together for the next step.
I watched Chels. Chels had a stream today, and he had a couple people talking about how Maresca did. I'm like, yo, I can't understand. And I sent Chels a stat of our last. That was what? Our last 32?
Yeah.
All right, listen to our last 24. 18 wins, 2 draws, 4 losses. But here's the big stat. 1.83 goals and 0.71 goals against. Our fucking defense has been amazing. Amazing. Our last 24 goals, we're averaging less than a goal a fucking game allowed. Come on, man. Like, I'm not even talking funny. That's league-winning type of defensive form. And it makes me wonder, where the fuck are we pulling this from? Nobody rates none of our players, but they don't rate our manager neither. Who gets the credit? Who we gonna give the credit to?
Exactly. You know let me go back a little bit. VAR, bruv. I thought he was fucking talking about the wins and that. Because I'm seeing so many W's right now, HM. I
was just going off the goals against and the goals for. We almost averaging 2 goals and not allowing any.
Yeah. HM's right. HM's right. Sorry, there's 4 teams left. I think he was talking about the 4 teams that are left. But if you go talk about our recent form, again, in our past like 14 games or something mad like that, AJ, yeah, we've only lost a few games, bro. Like, we're winning games right now convincingly. We're winning games in various ways, bro. You know, what have you thought about Maresca so far? Like, what is it that he's doing in this team, man?
Can't hear you, bro.
You on mute, AJ. You on mute. It's still muted.
Nice. Say it wrong with you.
I gotta leave out and come back.
Yeah, I don't know what's happened there. But go on, Jem. I ain't said much in a sec, bro.
What's that, David? What you just said?
About Maresca. We'll let AJ sort that out, and he'll give his take on it. What do you think Maresca is this team, man?
I think what he's done is he's managed to find a way. I think all the best managers, and he's still very inexperienced, and we have to bear that in mind. They all tend to find a way to adapt with what they have, and it's system based. I think the players have raised their games in it, and also on top of that, you've seen a system created where it's starting to benefit us defensively and also going forward as well, which is great because if you remember last season, after December, we went through a very stale period where our attack just died and we were still sort of leaking goals, but we wasn't able to like hold out wins or draws. We were conceding, do you know what I mean? And he shuffled it up and he's found a way where it works. And what I've been impressed with him in this tournament is he's kind of been quite brave. He's been quite brave, and we've not spoken about it because he's rested players in certain games, and he's also played a system that we've not seen in the Premier League last season. He went into that tournament playing a specific system that they were drilled in for this tournament that they're just learning to then go and play against these teams that we were up against. And yes, you could maybe argue the quality of some of these teams earlier on in the group stages, but they were still challenges. The Flamengo one, which we lost against, which he trialed the system at the time, it was, you could see that he was using different ideas. And then what the problem was then was that you had the Chelsea fan base moaning that he was doing things, why is he doing that? He should just stick to what he knows. Why is he playing him there? Why is he doing this? Right? But he stuck to it. And that's the most important thing with him, right? He's kind of stuck to having the opportunity to be able to be versatile and adaptive. He's not reliant on just being one way. He's already thinking about next season where he might look at the system and change it into a completely new system. He's evolving as a manager in his brain with the players he has, and he's starting to understand that he can play a certain system which benefits all of the team. What's the problem that we had in the past with other managers? They used to just play this system. It didn't benefit our players. It might have benefited some of them, like Gallagher and Mount and whatever, but the rest of them couldn't contain it. What he's doing at the moment now is playing a system where everyone's on the same page and we're getting good performances across the team. And he's then adding more systems, newer systems like we're seeing in the tournament, which is also helping the team. It's not just one or two players. It's the whole fucking team again. So what he's doing is very clever. Very clever,
100%, bro. 100%. And one thing that he said as well, Ads, the other day, Palmer spoke about it. He said, we're getting better as a team. Bro, if you go back to when Maresca first came in last year, people need to remember, bro, was getting smoked by Celtic 5-0 and shit. Because they were trying to learn a new system. And I was people saying, sack this guy after that. And I was like, broski, do you think that this system can be learned overnight? This is not a system that you learn overnight, bro. But Ads, honestly, when I'm watching us, I'm telling you, the closest team I can think of in terms of how we play as offensively and that is PSG, right? Because the fluidity, the way that we move around, the way that 1 second you see Enzo here, then you see Palmer here, then you see Gusto here, then you see this guy here, like, it's so fluid. There's so many different avenues of our attack, right? And that's clear to me that these lot are understanding what's expected. Because right now, bro, there's not a single team in the Club World Cup that's created more chances than us. Not PSG, not Bayern Munich, not Man City. You know what I mean? I think we've scored the most goals in here right now as well. I think last time I checked, because Bayern Munich have been knocked out now as well. You know what I'm saying? So we're building something serious, bro. You know, we're building something serious, Ads, man.
I mean, everything you're saying is right, bro. The numbers are backing it up. And as much as people don't want to put the natural respect on Maresca or some of the players in defense, the numbers aren't really lying. The results aren't really lying right now, and we're showing it. And we're showing it in good level games now. People can't accuse us of not really playing well in big games because we're playing some pretty important games. And we're winning and we're getting it done. And we're showing that we're hard to beat. So you have to big up the manager. I love what he's been doing tactically this tournament because how we try to actually switch things up, the midfield rotations, the way that I'm seeing like Enzo, even though he starts high, will drop in and I'll be able to ping a first time pass and just have us breaking lines like it's nothing. The midfield rotation that I'm seeing when it was Caicedo and Lavia, the other day it was Esteban. I'm thinking about Esteban too much. But it was Santos in there with.
Don't worry, it's coming, bro. That as well, blood.
That's crazy. But again, you see how it is with Santos in there. Like we're moving different right now, and I love to see it. And again, the PSG comparisons are pretty tough because they're on a crazy level right now. But there's not many teams that can really do what we're doing right now, if we're honest. I just want to see it continued on a high level against the best teams, which is what we're seeing right now. Fluminense will be another good test. But listen, even before we get to that, we have to give Maresca his flowers because what he's doing isn't easy. Again, he is still a rookie. He still will make some mistakes, like putting Reece James in midfield against Flamengo. That was a bad mistake. But he's still doing very, very well for what is still a rookie manager, and still with a transfer policy that I'm still not the biggest fan of because I would have liked to have seen him being given more experienced players. I still want an experienced centre back to come in. I wanted an experienced striker. He did get João Pedro though, who I'm a big fan of, and we're gonna see this brother cook. I'm telling you, this brother's gonna cook in this team as well. Yeah. But listen, man, the manager deserves his respect and his flowers, and I just hope that trophies come to really follow them.
All right, cool. No, 100%, bro. But go on, AJ. What's your take on Maresca so far, man? Are you happy with him at the minute, bro?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure everybody touched on everything, but just earlier in the season, I was starting to feel a little shaky about Maresca, but I think over the last 3 months, I think the team has really come together. Again, they understand the roles. I think somebody said that. I think Jem said that. So I think everybody's really just comfortable with each other. Also, Maresca, he's learning too. So he's clearly improved as a manager himself. So I just think we got to continue with him. And we looking like we have one of the better managers in the world right now, in terms of just how he sets the team up, how he understands, different style of football, where to move players, where to find space. So, it's something to work with. I think obviously.
I'm not putting that, AJ, because that's a great point because he is looking at one of the best managers in the world when he actually tinkers and changes things. And that was the big criticism around that December period is when we have all these games and you're not switching things up. You're not using players like you, even if you don't like these players, right? Felix, Vega, all these other guys, you weren't using them. You weren't changing the system much. You're going with the same shit. But when this manager changes things up, normally he gets it right and it's actually popping teams off the park how we're playing. So that's big.
Go on, Karen, AJ.
No, I mean that's really it. I think we got to just keep working on it. Keep building on what we got. I think we have something that's a little bit unpredictable. And when you going into the games and me seeing these games in person, this for this Club World Cup, you see the structure and you see the domination on the ball and you see the consistent patterns and the consistent movements. Everybody knows essentially where they need to be, and it's hard for other teams to defend the way we play. It stretches them a lot, So the one problem we have again, but every system is going to have a weakness. Is there's a lot of space in behind us. So if a team actually gets a chance to play a ball in behind, they can get on the counter. And I think Palmeiras had a lot of half counter opportunities that we had to deal with. So it's important for our center backs to be very good one-on-one. So that's one area where I think we can still improve a little bit. I think we could still get like a crazy Rolls Royce bossy type center back that could just lock off everything. But other than that, I think the defense has clearly stepped up and the system helps it.
Yeah. Can I say
100%. Go on, lads. Go on.
We were saying for a long time that we need to get better in both boxes, right? And I think we have got marginally better in the defensive box. Like, again, players like Colwell stepping up for one, that's helped. But the system is a big part of why we're just conceding less chances, right? So that's big. But we need to get better in that attacking box because, again, if you're telling me that we've created the most chances in this tournament when there's PSG here, Real Madrid's here, Bayern's here, and we've created the most chances,
that shit goes
we've scored quite a lot of goals, but we just need more killers in that final third. And that's not on the manager. The manager can't do anything about that. It's on the transfer policy, and we're going to have to hope that the wingers do that. And obviously, Pedro will add to that. Palmer needs to have a better goal-scoring season this year. But if that changes, and in the midfield that we got in the middle, we can do big things this season. So hopefully that happens because it's been a long time since we've been really competing at the elite level. And
you know what? That's a great segue because I was actually going to ask a question about the ceiling of this team as it is right now and what we need to do to get to the next level, right? But let me go through the super chat first. Big up Marching for this as well, bro. Big up for the donation, bro. Because I know we all would like experienced players, but are we at a stage where we have to let this project play out, make the final, win this shows it works? What do you think? What do you think of that super chat, Jim?
I think yes and no is the answer to that. I think I get what you're saying in terms of winning this. Does it show that the project's come far? I think you could probably say yeah, because I think when you look at the teams we've had to go through and then maybe potentially playing Real Madrid and PSG in the final to actually win it, you're going to have to play a team that you're going to play in the Champions League next season. So it goes a long way in terms of seeing where we are as a team coming up against teams that we're going to see in the Champions League. But at the same time, could we add experience to improve the current squad in certain areas? I think so. But the experience thing, I think, is overstated because I think we have experience, but in different ways in the team current moment. I think it's more about experience in certain areas and qualities profiling again in certain areas of what you need to take us to that next stage,
People need to realize, bro, look at the team, like Reece James is experienced, Cucurella is experienced. No one's gonna tell me Caicedo's not experienced, Enzo's not experienced. Fucking most of these players have experience now, bro. Right? Yeah. But what people are asking for, what it sounds like to me, because I was listening to Lewis and that earlier on Troops TV, big up Troops here, because I jumped on quickly. And Lewis was mainly talking about winners, right? When you talk about winners, I hear it because yes, I would like to bring in a Rodrigo who's a winner. Yes, I'd like to bring in a Maignan who's a winner, right? But at the same time, when you're looking at the market and what's available, it's not flooded with all these winners that you could just bring in because you're looking at the midfield. We don't need any midfielders right now, right? Osimhen isn't coming to Chelsea at the minute. You know what I mean? He's not fucking coming anywhere really in Europe. He's going to go to fucking Turkey, if anything. You know what I'm saying? Right? Centre-back, right centre-back, there's no one really that you can say, go get him right now in the Prem. I'm not looking at a standout guy like that right now. Do you know what I'm saying?
And so, not only that, some of these dudes, they be gassing up. They won as sidemen. So stop. Rodrigo ain't carry a team to no fucking... to no champs, to no fucking league. He didn't carry them. He was a piece. He's a piece, exactly.
He's a piece to a puzzle.
So stop this. Yeah, he's a winner, but he ain't carry anything. He's a piece. So when I think sometimes people gas up some of these guys and it's to a level that they're not at. He is a winner, but he didn't carry his team. He's a side man. You can't tell me a player that can't get into the position he like to play ain't a fucking side man. Because the stars don't fight for a position to get in. They're played in their position. They ain't got to fight for it. They're there. He's a side man. Yeah. I I hear what people talk about
I
with
was gonna
winners.
say this.
Mignon output in that spot because he's a keeper. And he was the number one keeper for a team that won a fucking league. He won a league in France, if I'm not mistaken. I'm saying, what did he win with Lille? He won something with Lille. He
To be
won
fair,
something with
Rodrigo, I remember when he came off the bench against us.
Not Rodrigo, I'm talking about Mignon.
I remember Modric's pass to Rodrigo, though, and we fucking came off the bench and he knocked us out, bro.
Yeah, like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
How long he's gonna live on that?
Yeah, no, it's true.
And he's still not a starter.
It's true.
3 years later.
was
Then they talk. I don't even want to go on no tangent because then they talk about, he's gonna go to PSG to do the same thing.
Yeah,
He ain't better than KK. We can't play on the left. What are you gonna do?
Yeah. I'm with Jem on this one, man. I think there's just a few little bits that we're missing, yeah, in terms of the right profile. I'm not overly thinking about we need to bring winners, we need to bring that, because I'm looking at our team. There's a couple winners in here already. There's experienced man in here already. Like, we don't need all these, winners and that don't exist. They just don't exist right now. I spoke to you, man, about this before when you talk about winners that have won the Prem and that, yeah. A lot of these guys are finished now. You're talking about the KDBs and that, bro. Some of these guys have even retired now. You know what I'm saying? So people, if you want to give me names of all these winners we can bring in that are going to come in and we need them in that position, let me know. But the market isn't really like that right now.
It's not.
It's really not. That's where I go to. I know you're going to read this tweet out, but I was going to say, Nick, before you brought it up about the strikers. And my only thing going into next season, depending on how we finish it, is I think Pedro and Delap, and you can obviously add Jackson there as well if he obviously stays, are potential strikers. They're good. Yeah, we can see that. My only question mark where I'm a little bit unsure with them, and that's over time we're going to see. This is not me saying this shit. It's just me wanting to see over time is whether we could get any clinicalness from the amount of what we create. Can these guys convert the amount that we're creating in games? Are we going to see the lap score maybe 10 to 15 goals? Now Pedro contribute between 10 to 15 goals, and if Jackson is given an opportunity as well, can he contribute? My only question mark, really, looking at my strikers, is I don't know how much we can actually get out of them in terms of goal numbers, even though we create enough. How clinical are they to be able to fire us closer to what's above us? For example, in the Premier League, can we close the gap points between us and, say, Liverpool, who are the champions? That's my only thing where I'll say, will that be a problem for us next season?
Yeah. Let me read Maresca's quotes as well before I come to you, Ads. Yeah. So it says, in my idea, I prefer to have all 5 players scoring 10 or 12 goals each, rather than one striker scoring 40 goals. We expect more goals next season from our attacking players. And Broski, I've been singing this same song for a minute now. I've been saying the exact same thing. Yeah. If we can get numbers all over the pitch, Ads, and that's winning us games and that's winning us trophies, I'm here for that, brother. I'm here for that, bro. You know what I mean?
I agree. I think that's the next step.
Go, let AJ go. Let AJ.
Oh, you said ads? My fault. I didn't hear.
No, AJ, go through because you came late anyway.
Yeah, no, it's cool.
No, I just think that's the next step of a lot of our attackers, which is getting those goals and getting those numbers. Because I don't see, that's the one thing that everybody could say, your attackers don't score a lot of goals. They don't put up a lot of numbers. So that's something that's solid that they could say. It's not something that they're making up or, it's just a fact. So hopefully, they could take that next step,
100%. Go on, Ads.
I mean, I haven't really got much to say on that. I mean, it's just true. It'd be great to add the numbers around because you haven't got a proven, gunman like that. Obviously, Palmer had the one season with crazy numbers. And, even last season, he had, I think, 15 in the league after having a drought for the second half. So that's still pretty good numbers. If you can stop having a drought. So, yeah, we're going to need the numbers to be spread around because again, I'm not trying to write the guy off after a couple bad games, but that's why I was kind of against the signing because he doesn't fill me with that confidence that he's going to get me 20-plus league goals. I just don't feel that. And I feel like if we got that, whether you trust Osimhen to do that or Gyökeres or whoever it is to do that, that would have been like, oh, no, we're going to challenge for the title. With obviously with Liverpool again, we'll see what happens to those teams. But yeah, it would have been nice to have closed that gap a bit more. But we'll see how it goes.
100%, bro. And then Michael, we got Michael for the super chat. Said Chelsea don't buy winners. We never do. We make them. With a team that always raise players' profiles, big names don't come here and succeed. You can look at that with players that Pep's brought over the years as well for Man City, bro. Like some of these guys were coming in, they weren't, they didn't have all these trophies behind them, and he turned them into world-class players, and he helped them win all those trophies, bro. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not saying don't bring in winners. I'm just looking around and I'm saying, okay, cool. If you want to bring in winners, give me all the names of the winners that we can bring in and come into this 11 straight away. You know what I'm saying? Because there's only a few players I'm looking at that I've won before that I want in this team. I'm looking at this team right now and we're building something, man. I can't lie.
Facts.
I can't lie. I've got to be honest, bro.
Pull up that JJ77 comment.
Where is it, bro? What time is it?
It's a little up. It's not even like.
Is it the JP and Delap is a very good combo to have.
Yeah, pull up that. That's it.
Yeah.
He's saying he disagrees, but we didn't say that they're not a good combo to have. So there's nothing to disagree on. But we're just saying, JP, how many goals did he score last year? Did he score less than 10 goals? Something like that. I don't know how many goals the Lap scored. So what we're saying
11.
is they're not known to be goal scorers. But we need them to become goal scorers in order for us to take the next step forward, because that's the difference in, finishing first or second and finishing, third to seventh.
Yeah.
Scoring
I think it does help the fact that we have the variety, like the variety of being able to play. If the Lap's going through poor form, you can put Chels Pedro up there and hopefully he can have a bit of good form. And then it continues, because we've been so stale in the last sort of couple of years, especially since Jackson's been there up front, because he's had no competition. So we've just been playing him through bad form and he's not been able to get over that, So now we're in a position where if the Lap's going through bad form for a couple of games, you play Chels Pedro. Do you get what I mean? Or you play Jackson, for example. Do you know what I mean? Or whatever. It's just
100%, bro.
let me just add something, because I was at the last game. And the Lap wasn't having the best game last game. Everybody knows that. He wasn't having the best game, and then, he was getting caught up in the BS. So the fact that Pedro came on the field, and at first nobody knew where he was going to play, right? We didn't know what he was going to do, where he was going to play. And he came on the field, went up as striker, and he had an immediate impact. So that shows that Pedro was a good signing. He gives us something different. He can turn, beat his man. He can hold off the ball. So he can do a little bit of what Jackson does and a little bit of what the Lap does. So there's a lot to work with. Now, we just need them to take that next step. Pedro, to me, Pedro was one of the best things that I've seen so far at the Club World Cup for Chelsea, just the impact that he can potentially have. Because I wasn't sure what he was going to bring. Because he's kind of one of those players where you don't know where they're going to fit in. You got to make it work. And if he's going to play striker, he's already ahead of Jackson for me.
Oh, yeah, bro. Listen, I'm starting him ahead of Jackson every fucking day of the week, bro. This guy's actually got a brain. I was seeing man actually occupying space and moving into space where it's like, yo, I don't see Jackson doing that. Like, bro, that's what I like. When I'm sitting with Alex, big up Alex, Chelsea Fan TV, sorts me out of a lot of tickets, yeah? When I'm sitting behind the goal, Matthew Harding, there's times where it feels like I'm on the pitch and I can see the space that you need to be running into. This Jackson guy is reactive rather than being proactive. Yeah. Pedro is the opposite of that, bro. The guy's IQ is mad. Yeah. He would have been set 1 maths. Jackson set 4 maths. You know what I mean? The IQ is different over here, bro.
Listen, as somebody who was a big fan of Jackson, and okay, it's cooled off a bit because of the red cards and that, but I still do rate Jackson. If he can clean up his game, be a better finisher, and obviously develop in the IQ sense, because he didn't have the best football education, right? Again, having to learn with Emery at Villarreal was like you're learning things at like 19, 20, you should have learned at like 12, 13, so it's different. But again, as a fan of Jackson, I've said for the longest time that I think Pedro is a better version of Jackson. And the fact that we got him now, I'm super happy, because for me, he's the best signing that we've made in the last 13, 14 months. Because last summer wasn't great in terms of signings. We only had Neto. Obviously, big up, he's doing well now and everything. But again, for me, this summer we made some decent signings. But for me, Pedro, JP, that's by far our best signing in quite a while.
Yeah, so, he's quality, man. And the thing about it as well, his fitness is mad. Like, he's been fit for so long, bro. Like, if you go check his injury record and that as well, it's mad. And he even said it himself. He used to play as a 10. You know what I mean? When I see players that can comfortably play in like various positions, bro, it's always a plus. You know what I'm saying? Sure, let me read this super chat and we'll talk about the feeling of the team right now, yeah? If we're talking challenging, the Lap's got to be bagging minimum 15 to 20. I think he's going to bag at least 15, as long as he's played. And we've got to majorly upgrade goalkeeper. Mania was perfect. Big up, boys. I still want to upgrade on Sanchez, even though he's improved, bro. I think, in terms of distribution and just having those bozo moments, I'd rather have someone that doesn't do that. and someone that's better on the ball as well. You know what I'm saying?
Yo,
Jim, what's the ceiling for this team for you, Jim, man? Where do you think this team right now, as it is, right, can finish in the league, man?
anything from 2. I don't think we could win the league. I think it for us to win the league, it would have to be one of those crazy seasons where like a Liverpool is not as good as you think. I already think City's not as good as people think. Like City's defense is fucking terrible. I've watched all their games this tournament. Their defense is still terrible. So I think City's gonna look more like they looked at the end of the season than they did in the beginning. But City's there for the taking. I could see us being higher than City. I could see us being higher than all of them. Only team that I'm looking at right now that I don't think that's going to drop off is because their core is still there is Liverpool. I think the only thing that could stop Liverpool from dropping off is injury. Nothing else. They're bringing back the same core, the same manager, same everything. So, yeah, Liverpool. Everybody else after that is food. But even more than that, like I think people get so caught up in the fantasy of there's 38 teams, right? So we'll say there's 38 starting strikers in the Prem, right? Can anybody tell me how many strikers in the Prem had over 20 goals? How many do you think? Quick, off the top of your head.
Maybe
3.
Only 3.
Yeah.
Only 3. Holland, Isak, and Chris Wood. That's it. Chris fucking Wood. That's it. Only 3 strikers. So our striker don't have to be a super bagsman. If we could get 15 from one, 7 from another, and whatever. That's the type of shit that Maresca's talking about when he like I don't need a 30, because that's just how the league is set up. Like I'm looking through this, like, damn, I'm going through the list, like. People talk about Palmer had a bad year and Kahuna was so great. They had the same amount of goals. And Matthias Cunha had a great season. He had a great year, entire season, they say.
Yep.
And they said Palmer only had a half a season. He had 15 fucking goals. I'm just looking at this.
He should have had 30, though.
Yes, and that's I was saying that. The reason I was bringing this up was to say this. I'm sorry, but Palmer is a 20-goal a season guy.
Easily.
Yeah. He has 15 and basically playing good for half a year. Palmer's gonna score between 18 and 20-something goals this year. I already told people I think Delap could get between 15 to 20.
Yeah,
that's what I expect from Delap. Yeah. Before I thought it'd be 18 to 21, but now that I see we got João Pedro, I don't expect the numbers to be as high because before I was looking at it like Delap is gonna run out every game. No. You can already see there's gonna be games strategically. Pedro will make more sense than Delap.
I think what people need to understand, because bro, people need to realize that in 2025, Cucurella was our highest goal scorer at one point. Yeah, at one point, only Southampton had a worse XG than Chelsea, bro. Right? We were scrambling for goals. We were struggling, and the reason why we was even getting wins or drawing games in that is because our defense and our midfield was what was keeping our team together. Our attack was the biggest problem of our season when you actually break it down. Because our midfield, like I keep saying, outperformed everyone. Our defense, even though it needs improvements, was the 3rd best. But our attack, it could have been better, but it's still like the 5th best in the league, by the way. We still scored like 56 goals. But we're scoring more goals this season, I'm telling you. Yeah. We are scoring more goals this season, bro.
And I don't know what else. If people saying they don't see Delap scoring 15 goals, then that means you don't think Delap is better than Jackson. Because Jackson scored 14 goals. So if you think Delap is going to play a whole season and not score 15, then you must think he's not better than Jackson. That's what you're telling me.
I said that to Monts earlier.
And nobody would say that. So that's why I know that what they're saying is kind of like that's what they're hoping. To me, yes. Because if you say he's better than Jackson and Jackson scored 14, you can't tell me that, Delap can't score 15. Why? In the same setup? How? That the logic
definitely going to get chances to score.
Yeah, you have to tell me why you think he's not going to get 15 if you watch Jackson get 14.
Bro, you're gonna see Delap smack the ball like he's trying to smack it at someone that he hates, bro. You know what I mean? And even right now, yeah, I even saw his missus split up with him. I think he's been doing some. Yeah, ATO. I know ATO. You know, have the red bones over there. I think he's been doing something over there, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because his girlfriend must have posted something cryptic on her Insta talking about loyalty and that. So
Yeah, I saw that.
you saw it, yeah. So she's done with him. You know what I'm saying? But you better use that rage now. Yeah, use that rage to slap the ball.
Which
Jackson
rage? That's
slapped the
freedom.
ball. I'm telling you, bro. I went to Toka the other day. I shoot better than Jackson. I'm telling you, bro. I shoot better than that guy. Yeah, and I don't get paid a penny to play football. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I don't get paid a fucking penny.
Let me throw a quick spanner in the works, right? Because again, I feel like it's the vibe is positive around Chelsea, and I'm positive. I feel like we're gonna have a good season. But if there's anything that is like a concern, is the fact that we are in the Champions League next season, and I expect us to obviously qualify through the group stages, and that's gonna be 2 proper games a week for the most of the season, right? Obviously, last season Conference League we could like rotate A team, B team. We can't really do that in the Champions League. We're gonna have to try and go for our best team most of the time. Obviously, there'll be natural rotation because we're gonna have players like Santos, Pedro, etc. on the bench. Gittens on the bench. They're gonna be good replacements to come into the team. But that being said, we saw we struggled last season in the Christmas pit where you have to play 2 games a week and they're all serious games. So how much of a concern is that for you guys going into this season, having that we've got Champions League, obviously Premier League, and we could potentially go far in the domestic cups? Is that a concern, or do you guys feel like we're going to just brush through that and not be too much of an issue?
I think in general, it's always going to be something that we got to think about and, a little bit of a concern. But if we have the same squad numbers as last year, but we improve the quality of the B team, then I think it's something that we should be able to deal with. Now, how many of these players have played Champions League? How many of these players have played, multiple games per week? I mean, we kind of did that last year, especially with a lot of extra traveling compared to Champions League traveling. So they should be used to it. Now, can we get through the games? Do we have the quality to get through the games and then turn around and play Premier League games? So it's a concern, but my other concern is for the league, like Arsenal, Liverpool, City, and now you see Arsenal getting a big striker, somebody who can score goals. If you give Jokeris a chance, he's gonna score the goal. You understand? Now, can he create chances? Can he deal with the physicality around him? But if he actually gets a chance, he's probably gonna score. So that's something that we got to deal with. So my concern more is, do we have the quality? Because I think we have the mental know-how to deal with it. Maresca's been through a European campaign. I think we could do that, but can we actually succeed in those competitions?
I'm literally not worried about Champions League one fucking bit when it comes to group stages. I'm sorry. These teams now in Champions League be ass. I watched so much Champions League last year, and I'm sitting there like, this is food. Some of them fucking Champions League games and teams I was watching last year, Chelsea last year team would have wiped the floor with some of those teams. I am not worried about Champions League. I am not.
And the good thing about it as well, Jim,
my own 2 eyes.
But
I watched it.
But you don't think it could affect the league form?
Yeah, of course. I'm talking about just Champions League itself. That Champions League shit ain't what it used to be. I know. I seen that shit.
My thing is more, will it affect the league form? Because obviously Champions League is real.
I think with us having a Sugo, Santos, and those guys, we good, because the main drop off to me that would affect us the most is the midfield. That's where you do most of your subbing when it comes to that midweek. That's where you feel it the most.
We need backup for Cuckoo as well.
But even left backs and right backs don't get swapped out like the midfield. Like the midfield is what you usually feel the most. Once you'll play that first game, then you'll play that midweek, and then when you come back that next game, usually you be swapping out your midfield. That's what teams normally feel.
I think
that's where we're gonna be great. We're gonna be good to go, because the guys we swapping in, the Lavias, the Santos, and those guys are level. Those guys are starter level players. That's why I think we'll be good.
Yeah, I think my only worry with all of the football that we've got coming, and this is why I'm looking at this window so much at the moment, is the type of profiles we're bringing in and who we're bringing in. Now we got linked to Kudus for what, a week or so, yeah.
Mm.
And the big reason why I think most of us were happy for him coming into this team was the fact that we knew he wasn't potential. It was more the fact that he was proven. He was experienced. He's 24 years old. He's played Champions League. He's played Premier League. He's
World
he's
Cup.
direct. He deals, yeah, you know what I mean. He's good at dealing with low blocks. He just improves the quality, and it goes back to what AJ says. He improves the quality of the squad. Where I worry slightly still with this board, and this is why I'm still waiting to see how we do in this window, is that I still think in certain areas we still need a bit more quality. And where I look at the moment is on that left-hand side of the, even though we've got Gittens, I still don't think it's good enough to just have Gittens on that left, especially now we know Noni's going as well. And my worry is that we're still looking to bring in players that are potential. You know, we could go and get Malik Fofana now all of a sudden. What a great player. Looks very good, doesn't he? Yeah. But where does that quality level take us to? Where does it raise us to? You know, having him in the team, because you've got two players that are going to come into this Chelsea squad, yeah, which is an upgrade to where they were before. Never played in the Premier League. Okay, they've played Champions League football. Fair play. Ticks the boxes. But they're going to need time to bed. They potentially might need time to get through, you know, and we might not be able to give them that because of how we've strengthened in terms of the squad, if you know what I mean. But then if we don't get Kudus and we're getting Fofana, I'm just worried about the levels of players that we're bringing in again. Is it too much potential again with what we have? And then there's a problem with the quality when we're trying to move forward throughout the season with the Champions League and the Premier League, because these guys are still trying to find themselves a bit. You know, that's my only worry.
100%. And that's why I'm saying right now, we still need to put our name in the hat for Rodrigo, right? You go get a Rodrigo, bro. You know what I'm saying? You Kudus right now, I'm seeing obviously Spurs and that. Listen, apparently, you know, he wants them and all these things. But at the end of the day, we're yet to put an offer on the table for this guy. There's a decision to be made for Kudus with only one team really that are chasing him. So is he going to turn down Tottenham when he plays for West Ham? No. Right? So we need to come and get that one patterned as well, right? Don't worry about selling Noni first, but I think that's what Chelsea want to do. I think they want to sell this guy first and then go in for him, sorry, right? We need to just go buy him, bruv. You know what I mean? Like Jim's saying, you're bringing in a guy who centrally brings something different to the team. He can play right wing as well. He's never injured, bro. You know what I mean? He's always fit. You know what I'm saying? So, boy, that's more numbers to add to the team, man. And he's physical, like Monk was saying as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that physicality, you know, and that's another reason why I've liked this tournament as well, because all the teams that we've played against were very physical, you know, and, you know, over the past couple of years, we've been a very soft team, very small team, you know. So I think going through this, you know, the players get a different experience. They see what else it takes. They see where they may need to step up. And, you know, that link to Kudus, bringing in Pedro, bringing in Delap, these guys are like more physical style of players. And that's what, you know, that's old Chelsea. That's what we used to have. You know, our midfield used to be bossy. Our strikers, Costa, Drogba, bossy. You know, all these guys, John Terry, Carvalho, bossy. Like, these guys, you know, that's Chelsea. So I'm happy that we've been going through this, and I'm happy that we bring it in and looking at that style of player. And I still want Kudus.
No, 100%, bro. Listen, HM, that's what I mean, bro. You're not uncomprehending what's going on. We're yet to lodge a bid. West Ham are expecting Chelsea to bid. Yeah, they're expecting us to bid, and if we do, bro, for me, it's unlikely that he'll go to Spurs if we bid for this guy. Because clearly, if we bid for him, that means that he's given us the green light to do that, most likely, bro. You know what I mean? And he gave us the green light before to move in for him. We decided to fucking fuck about Caicedo. We lost out on this guy. You know what I'm saying? But end of the day, if you're telling me that if we put an offer down for him and Spurs put an offer down for him, it goes Spurs, tell us in the chat. Do you think that he'll pick Spurs over Chelsea if we put in an offer as well, bro? I'm waiting for you to...
He's not going to turn Spurs away if Chelsea ain't putting anything in, though. That's the thing. Do you know what I mean? Like, he wants to leave West Ham. He don't like Graham Potter. He don't like what happened last season, and he's ready to go. But it's down to Chelsea to actually put a proposal forward. This shows how interested we really are in the player. Because if we are, what stops us going 55 million plus 5 million add-ons and just getting it done? Which we're not doing. We're trying to give them players in the deals and things like that, which they don't want. So it's just down to whether we actually really, really want him, and that's down to the ball.
Exactly, bro. And I'm seeing today that that what do you call it? Kudus. They're saying add-ons Champions League and that, bro. Like, listen, those add-ons will never get paid if that's what they are, innit? You know what I'm saying? Get paid, bro. and he says he will choose Spurs because it will be central to their plans. I get what you're saying in terms of the game time. Like, if you want to guarantee starts, go to Tottenham. If you want to win and actually challenge, bro, come to Chelsea. You know what I mean? You might not be guaranteed starts, but I think he'll get enough starts in this team, man. Like we've just said, Champions League football and that, bro. Guys have got to rest. You know what I mean? Guys have got to rest, man. And we're playing Carabao Cup, FA Cup. People forgetting, yeah, we got knocked out mad early in FA Cup and Carabao Cup, you know. I was at Wembley. I went to Wembley both times, bro. This time around, we got knocked out by Brighton. We got knocked out by Newcastle. Jem, you off?
Yeah, I've got to shoot, boys. Yeah, I'll check this in a bit.
Yeah, next week, bro. Next week. Listen, I want to have a squad, HM, that are able to compete on all fronts. I don't want to just be looking at the league. The league ain't the only thing to win. So if we compete for the league and we don't win it, at least we've got an FA Cup. At least we've got a Carabao Cup. At least we've got the Champions League, right? That's what you got to be selling to him. There's so many games to go around, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's how I'm kind of looking at it.
You just reminded me of those cup games and those cup competitions. I think, this is a year where we can win the FA Cup. We can win the Carabao Cup. Those are targets that maybe we should add, instead of winning the title. I think we can win the title, but the chances of us right now, based on how the squad is and what the competition is doing, it's going to be tough. But in terms of those knockout competitions, we should be able to do well in those competitions. So hopefully we take those serious.
No, bro, we need to fucking take them serious, bro. Maresca, some of the lineups I was seeing, like obviously injuries and that didn't help him, but it was mad. I don't want that again because I don't want to be throwing away competitions, but we need to be winning these things.
Yep.
Yeah. But just to finish off, let's talk about Madueke to Arsenal, man. What are you saying about Madueke to Arsenal? How do you feel about that, bro?
Yeah, my stance hasn't really changed. Like, I feel the same way. It's like, am I that fussed? Not really, because I don't care too much about like the player in terms of what he's done for us. I thought there's a player in there. He got a higher ceiling for me than Neto. I've been saying that, but at the same time, it's like he would need to be like one of the main guys in the team. Like the team revolves around him in the attack, where he can get off his shots, cut inside, do that kind of thing. But it doesn't mean like a team player. I feel like Neto kind of suits us a bit more in that sense. That's why I'm not really too much fussed about him moving, especially if we go and swap him out for Kudus, because that's like, we're letting go of potential for Kudus, who I think is like ready to become a top player, if not a potential superstar. I think Kudus is that good on his day. So yeah, I'm not too fussed. And it's Arsenal taking again a player that we don't really want. That's got a great lore to it because again, it's Kepa, it's Jorginho, it's Kai Havertz, it's Willian, it's Sterling, it's Petr.
CEX boys. I'm telling you. So I thought we've got CEX boys, bro. That's what they are, bro. You know what I mean?
100%. So I don't mind it too much in that sense. It's it's just Noni's cool. He's nice. He could be a top player, but it's not a guarantee. And right now, life is short. I want to see top players at my football club in it. So
100%, man. How about you, Jim? How you feeling about Madueke, bro, to Arsenal?
Yeah, I'm indifferent. If he stay, he stay. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like fucking Ivan Drago, man. If he dies, he dies. You know what I'm saying? Like, if he go, we go. If he stay, he stay. Like, my problem with Nani is he can't be a starter. So if he's on my bench, I'm cool. If we sell him and get 45, 50 million, I'm cool. I'm like, it's like one of them indifferent feelings. It's like, oh, Nani got sold. How much? Oh, okay. Cool. Like that type of feeling. It's no, you know what I mean? It's no big deal.
No, 100, bro.
Because I don't think he's not. I don't mind non-game changers getting sold. I'll never get upset about a like if you can change the game in some way, then that's when I'll feel some type of way about you leaving. But if you're just another guy, then it's just like, okay, yeah, I might personally like you or like your style, but like you're kind of like just another guy. And that's where at the moment that's what Nani is. He's just like another Premier League winger. He's not a bum.
He hasn't kicked on, Jim.
He hasn't moved on. He's nowhere near a bum. Like that. That's the part I can't take. Is when I sit down and see people talk about this guy's ass. He's trash. And I'm like, yo, relax, calm the fuck down. I watched him score in your club. Chill out. You know what I mean?
Arsenal finished twice second, 3 times in a row, and he's better than players on their starting team. He's better than.
But then at the same time, it's like,
starter, but obviously he's not really a left winger, so that's where it's like he doesn't strengthen our rivals that much that I need to care. So it's like, cool.
Yeah. I think this is from Byron Rodrigo as well because they want to use him both sides. Excellent business. excellent business, bro. You know what I
It's
mean?
kind of like that with Nani. Like it's like, the more and more you think about it, it's like it's not that big of a deal. If he stay, he stay. If he go, we go. You know what I mean?
100, bro. And yeah, AJ, what have you got to say about him as well, bro? How you feeling about Noni leaving, man?
I mean, first, I be defending Nani on this channel, but again, he's like Jimmy said, he's not the greatest player. He's not the worst player, And when you want to build a squad and improve a squad, sometimes there's gonna be like a player that's gonna get moved on in order to upgrade the squad, and he's just one of those players that falls into that category for Chelsea. He might go to Arsenal and play well. I don't think he's better than Saka, and I don't think maybe he's not starting level for that left side, but he can compete with Martinelli. So
Yeah,
that's the one
Martinelli's
thing
just like him. They're the same shit.
exactly.
Yeah.
And that's the one thing that I don't like. I don't like selling to rivals or teams that we competing against. But I mean, we've been doing this with Arsenal now for like 5, 6, 7 years. Like, so I don't know what's going on there. But
Yeah.
what
No,
it is,
people like to get onto me. Big up Natch for this comment as well. Said Reaper, even Don, his lawyer, had enough of the shit that's happening, bro. Listen, everyone's got different patience levels, innit? You know what I mean? When this guy first came in, I've been very consistent about him. I like how direct he is. I like how he takes people on, because I feel like in today's game, there's not that many wingers that like to do that, right? Growing up, you could go through every single team in the Prem, and they all had wingers that used to take on their man.
Yep.
Over the years, the Prem's changed away from that, bro. It became inverting, and it was a breath of fresh air to see someone like a Noni come in, and it's like, yo, there's actually a winger running at people, yeah? But what I always said is his end product needs to improve, right? And obviously, I still wanted Olise to come in because I wanted him to be a backup. But last season, I'm sorry, bro, he had enough chances, enough opportunities, enough starts to be improving, right? He has not improved to the level that I need him to have improved with the amount of game time he's been getting. He's very inconsistent. He's very indecisive, right? His end product ain't great. His creativity ain't great. Yeah, he's meant to be a goal scorer, but he misses so many chances. You know what I mean? So my patience has been running thin because we're scrapping for top 4 because of people like him. You know what I mean? People like Jackson. So I'm not here to be carrying passengers and looking at Noni and crying about Noni, because at the end of the day, I only look at him as a squad player. If he's got to get moved on and we've got better players with better end products, so be it, bro. You know what I mean? And personally, I don't think the sporting directors would have even signed this guy. He's a signing from Vivell. He's not that technical. He's not technical enough to have been signed by the sporting directors that we've got, because we know they're like technical players. Noni is not technical, bro. You know what I mean? So I'm not mad at it, bro. If he goes to Arsenal, we get 45 million. It stops them getting Rodrigo even better. Like I've said, it is where it is, because we've got Esteval there, we've got Neto there, we're bringing a Kudus that's better end quality. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I'm looking at it, man. He's had enough chances and he hasn't really kicked on. He has not really kicked on. Yeah, look at that fucking chance against Man United, man. You know what I mean? When I'm seeing things like that towards the end of the season, like, come on, how am I supposed to defend that? How am I supposed to defend that, bro? You know what I'm saying? But listen, people, man, it's flown by, nearly an hour and a half in. We've got 438 people still in the house. The show is growing, man, week by week. It's just growing, people. What have you got coming up, Jim?
Going to the fucking game tomorrow. That's what I got coming up. I'm gonna be at the fucking game tomorrow, man.
Is that in Philly again?
Huh?
Is it in Philly again?
Nah, it's in Jersey. It's actually in my hometown, man.
Oh, it's in Jersey now. Yeah?
It's where the game is where I grew up, man. Where I'm born and raised. So, hell yeah, tomorrow, man. I can't fucking wait. I can't wait. Like, as soon as I wake up, I'm going right to Jersey. I ain't even going to work. I ain't going.
They're saying they like the vlogs, man. You need to do more vlogs tomorrow, bro.
Yeah, I'm a vlog.
Oh, yeah.
Only thing about tomorrow is expect delays. It's after the game start 3, like 4 o'clock. It's supposed to be thunderstorms. So
probably go through that BS again.
Yeah.
How about you, AJ? You got some new videos on your TikTok? I saw them the other day, actually.
Yeah, I'm going to the game as well. You know, I've seen Jimmy at both games so far. I'm about to see him again tomorrow. But
yeah,
we'll be back at the game. You know, been meeting a bunch of content creators. Met Casually FC, met CB. You know, Chavi was there. So a bunch of people. Yes, a lot of people. Yeah, there's a lot of people there. So
it's even more this time. Like, it's mad people inbox me like, "Yo, Jimmy, wherever you at, you gotta Let us know where you're gonna be. Well, this time it's Giant Stadium. Ain't no bar. You
Yeah,
just
there's no
tailgate.
bar right
There's
outside.
no bar around that motherfucker. You just got tailgate. So
Yeah.
niggas
Yeah.
is gonna be outside, and weed is legal in Jersey. So
Mm.
yeah, it ain't like Philly. So it's gonna be a fucking smoke fest tomorrow. If
Yeah,
you
man.
smoke tomorrow,
The parking lot
find
is
me.
crazy. I don't know if y'all
Find me. If you smoke, find me. Cause
I wish I was there.
do
I
you
wish
guys
I was
do
gonna
there,
be
bro.
tailgating
set
in the
tomorrow.
UK? Like y'all be partying and shit in the parking lot before the games?
Nah. They
Nah,
don't
we don't
tailgate.
do that. We
Nah,
don't
they
do
don't
Oh,
that.
tailgate.
That's
They
more
go to the
pubs and
pub
that.
though.
Pubs and
Yeah,
that.
they go to the pub. Yeah, they go to the pub.
yeah,
Pubs
yeah,
and the bars and whatnot.
Yeah, we
How
tailgate.
about
We
you, Az?
tailgate.
Az ain't got nothing coming up, man. Yeah, but you got a fucking new camera today, a new mic today. It sounds like it.
Same mic. I just put the fan away because it's not flipping. We're not having a heat wave in the UK in it, so yeah, it's normal
Yeah.
settings in it. But I'm just hungover. I had a long weekend, not even a drinking thing. I just with my church, we had like about 300 people in for like our anniversary, so performing in front of that because I play the drums at my church, so that was like a big thing. But if anybody knows about African people I'm planning, it's stress. So trying to organize all of that is a madness in it. But all I really want to say right now is because this is my first time on any kind of show obviously after what happened last week with Diogo Jota, and I just feel like I can't really go a show about saying obviously
Yep.
RIP to him and his brother, obviously condolences, love, and obviously all strength goes out to them because what happened there was crazy. So obviously again, just commiseration, well not even commiseration, just heart goes out to the family, the wife, the kids, and I think even more just the parents. To lose your two sons like that is just crazy. So again,
Mhm.
it's been
More
obviously
than that, right?
seeing how Liverpool have responded to it, and again, I would just only wish them all the best, man, because that is it's tough to happen like that. So and
yeah.
again, that's just a reminder to everybody: live life how you can and just enjoy it, man. Enjoy it with the people that you
Mhm.
love. If you've got a grudge over something that isn't that deep, squash
Mm.
that, and it's not worth it.
No, 100%, bro. Listen, I should have said that at the beginning of the show. You just reminded me, bro. But honestly, even now, when you bring it up again, it's like, yo, this actually happened, bro. Like, it's
I
for real.
still can't believe that I'm going to be watching Liverpool games and he's just not there, and it's like that's
Yeah,
crazy.
bro.
So
It's
weird.
surreal. 'Cause bro, when it happened, the day it happened, I was on my phone. I didn't see anything on Twitter because I was on my phone. I get a notification from Daily Mail, Diego Jota dead at 28, and I was like, wait, what? And then I
Yeah.
clicked on it, and obviously it was just there wasn't even no writing. It just said he's just like the article, the whatever
Just the
called the
picture,
headline.
yeah.
Yeah, gone on Twitter now, and I've seen is it Marker? Marker posted it, I think,
Yeah,
first. Yeah,
yeah,
I was like, bro, like I honestly felt sick. Like I felt like someone punched me, bro. Like even now thinking about it now, it hurts, bro. I'll be real. Like it's actually affected me, bro. Because this could be any of us. You know what I mean? This could have been any of our players. Obviously,
Yep.
we're not Liverpool fans and that, but bro, we love the game.
Yeah.
Jota is a big name, people. Right?
yeah.
He's a big name. I was always saying to people, Nkuku is our version of Jota. Nkuku is our version of Trossard, right? And then for him to just get taken away like that, it's
Yep.
mad, bro. Even now, I'm even choking up thinking about it because I'm just thinking about his wife, bro, the kids. Bro, it's sad, man. It's honestly sad, bro.
It's really
It's
sad.
so sad.
It's really sad.
100%. It's
You know
fun.
what I
It's
mean?
even like the guys like even big in like the FIFA community and that like man's always up there. Like man was like when it was a big thing to go weekend league, like this guy was doing it, but as a pro footballer, it's crazy. So he's touched a lot of communities and
Yeah,
it's happened like that, man. But all I can say to that is that at least it's painful, but at least he died knowing that he made all his family proud. He raised three beautiful kids, and like their kids are set up for life. So at least he
man.
left
Yeah.
all that we can hope to do. Some of us are striving to do it. Some of us ain't done it yet, but all we can hope for is to at least leave a legacy that he left at 28. Crazy, but at least he did that. So, and obviously
Bro,
again, congratulations to his brother as well because that is it's tough, bro. So that's why
it's
again
mad.
I can't stop thinking about the parents because it
Yeah,
is man.
100%, man.
So
But
tough.
listen, people, listen, back to business tomorrow. Listen, RIP Jota, RIP to his brother as well. Tomorrow, let's get the job done, man. Thiago Silva, like I keep saying, bro, you're next, my brother. And a bit, people. Bless.